Yo, what's
All
good?
right.
It's Mastermind MMA, and I'm kicking it with my boy CJ Pradia. Is it Pradia or Pradia?
You got the first one right. You nailed it on the first one.
It's
It's
Pradia.
Pradia.
All right, got it, got it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. So, how you been, man? What are you up to?
Everything's good so far. Like right now, it's just my day off. I'm at the mall, like near my local Starbucks, like what QH1 you would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say that, like I said before, that thank you for finding the time to do this call. It's pretty like dope right there.
No
I
doubt,
really
man.
appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I
And
appreciate you.
I would say the same with everybody else there. Like, thank you for putting like your word out there as well, and keeping like we all got to keep this MMA community alive, whether QH1 or dips out or not, or new QH2s here. We're at least the community's here. That's what really matters.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
let's see. So, like I said before, what do you think about the the 212 card? Yeah, 212 card.
Well, overall, I think the card was pretty good. There's a lot of finishes. That card was going by fast because people were getting finish on finish on finish. So that card delivered on that. And the main event, I was pumped for the main event. And on paper, the first round, I was kind of like, fuck, man, is this how it's going to be? Because, Jose Aldo was looking really good. He was looking like the best Jose Aldo out there. Jose Aldo that fought Chad Mendez. And then he was finding the range. He had Max's timing. He was countering him. He had that flurry where he was like, where he blitzed in on him and like threw the knee, and he was throwing that knee deadly a few times. But when Max found his flow,
yeah, it's like when he threw the knee and all that, like you said, it was almost like pre-USADA Jose.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that Max is gonna show himself like later in the round, because I think that's more like what he is. Like, he doesn't start off strong in the beginning, but he like shows his like potential later on. He's more like a slow starter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're definitely right. In every one of his fights, he kind of starts slow.
Yeah, I think he did the same thing with in the Pettis fight.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was literally just about to say that, because fucking, I remember Pettis was getting off those jumping switch kicks and shit, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like throwing kicks and all that, and later on, then Max showed who he really is. Like, he just picked up the pace and found his rhythm.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, the 212 card. Yeah, I thought honestly at the same time I thought Max was gonna be in trouble too, because especially like I said, when Jose threw the knee, and he looked a bit stunned too, Max. So I was like, oh no, and then I was like, this is gonna get interesting.
Yeah. That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, and did you think the stoppage was good? Because like people that I know said like could have just like the referee should have just waited.
I was fine with the stoppage. I actually thought he could have stopped it earlier, but I feel like John McCarthy gave him all the leeway room he could give without it just getting ridiculous. Because at that point, he's fucking over Max Holloway, because you have Max just trying to finish the fight for like over a minute straight, and then you're gonna have fucking if you're gonna let the round play out, then Max is gonna be gassed out. That's totally unfair to Max. And Jose was rocked. He hit him. John McCarthy went on talking about like stages of a knockdown, and he said, the least dangerous stage is when they fall on their ass with their hands down. But like when they get straight like dropped, like collapsed, like Jose did, that's where this ref really comes in to finish the fight. I mean, to end the fight. But Jose, Max had the hooks in his back. He had him face down, and then he was just raining down shots. All Jose could do is cover up, and he was intelligently defending himself in a way that he was covering up, but he wasn't scrambling for a better position. He really couldn't, like.
Yeah, so he was basically like turtled up, and he wasn't even moving. Yeah, so I mean, I could see why people think that it should have been stopped differently, but. Yeah, but I think John McCarthy tried to like give him like a chance to come back. Actually, he's like the Brazilian's favorite, the Brazil's favorite.
Yeah.
Just want to see him come back. Kind of like how back then, when Czech Congo, Pat Barry, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. I don't know. He wasn't. Yeah, like you said, he was intelligently defending himself, but not like not like trying to like find the right positions and all that to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. And like another situation that was kind of like that was Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold. Remember, Herb Dean was reffing, and Chris threw that.
Yeah, I know. Even I was like off the fight already. That should have been stopped. I think it was a third.
So yeah. I don't see John giving that kind of leeway because, I mean, Chris got finished like right after that, so there's really no point in that leeway. And then I don't know if you remember did you see the Hector Lombard Neil Magny fight?
Yeah, I did actually. Didn't it look like Neil Magny almost got like finished or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, like right in the first round.
Yeah, and I think it was the same with the Lombard Hendo fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then keep going.
What's up?
No, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I'm good. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. So I feel like I even saw an article today that said Andre Pederneiras. I don't know if it was Andre Pederneiras, but I know it was one of Jose Aldo's coach says he disagrees with Jose about the stoppage. He's like, that was a good stoppage.
Oh, actually, I didn't see that, but yeah, but either way, it looks like Jose wasn't it isn't gonna win at that point. Like that Max looked like the opponent. It looked like the fighter that wanted to win.
Yeah. But we're in the. Keep going.
Because I think in my opinion, I think like Jose was too focused on trying to get that rematch with Conor McGregor, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially that knockout. Ever since he got knocked out, from Conor, he was more focused on trying to get that rematch, and then pretty much like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like Jose, he became the quiet guy that never said anything, and after he got knocked out by Conor, he was in the headlines every other day, saying some shit about Conor, the UFC, or he's gonna throw fights, he wants to be released, he wants to play soccer, all this shit happened after that was totally out of Jose's character.
I know, and it also moved it, also trying to, wanted to fight Khabib or, Tony or something like that, just to get to Conor, and it's almost like that he didn't want to be, like a champion, he was more like, I just want to get my revenge back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because no matter what now, that's all. Now after the Holloway fight, it's gonna be worse. But now people are honestly, I feel like Jose still has a lot in him. Jose still could be at the top of the division, but I think it's fucking blessed era now. You know what I mean? I think Max Holloway's gonna run that division.
Yeah, like especially after Max defeated Holloway, I think he's like that's like you said, like it's the blessed era now, and he's like, I believe now he's like the number, like like the top 3 featherweights for sure. Especially like even before Max got the title, he had that like crazy win streak. After the decision loss to Connor, and he wasn't like fighting like no bums or anything like that. Like he was fighting like Lamas, Pettis, like Cub Swanson, etc.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like they fucking after that Conor McGregor fight, he went on a tear against the top of the division. I actually watched that Cub Swanson fight this morning. I was watching some shit on YouTube and it just came on and I was like, oh fuck it, I'll watch it. And I was like, man, and that was when Max was 23. So he was looking fucking really good, and you know he had that moment where he rocked Cub with body shots and went for the finish like he did with Jose, and he had like this fucking tight ass arm triangle, and then he didn't get it. Cub never tapped, and then Max let it go. Then he fucking went, and then he was still in side control. And then he started setting up the arm triangle to the other side. And then he fucking let him up. And then he just pieced him the fuck up on the feet. And then rocked him, grabbed a guillotine, and then just went into mount and just fucking tapped him with a mounted guillotine. And I was like, motherfucking hot damn.
Damn. Yeah, Max is a fucking savage.
Cause like just that like you could see his IQ as like such a young fighter. He was a kickboxer. He started off kickboxing, and it's like, yo, he doesn't even just go for that ground and pound. He's intelligent. He's like, let me get good position, go for submissions. If I can't get that, we're gonna get back on the feet on my terms. He has really high fight IQ, and it's starting to grow a lot, especially with the adjustments he made in the Jose fight. The first round and the end of the first and the third round looked like completely different fights.
Yeah, I know it did, and then yeah, like you said, he has like good fight IQ, and he's only like at a young age too. He's not even 30. Like, who knows, like, in a few years, how big his IQ, like, you know, how evolved his IQ would be, like, you know, late few years later on.
I know.
Like, who knows? Like, maybe we'll see, like, the better Max Holloway. Probably this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. I was talking to Dan yesterday on our call, and I was saying, like, man, like, I'm 24, and Max is fucking a year older than me. And that's just like, he's fucking a world champ, like, at that age. It's insane. When he's like on a crazy win streak and he's world champion. That's fucking insane.
I know, exactly. It's almost like I'm gonna probably say probably this is a bad comparison. I'm gonna say something like, you know, how like pretty much like John Jones in a way.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, that the fact that they achieved greatness at such a young age. I think John was like 23 when he got the belt. Fucking
Yeah, he was 23.
Yeah, bro, and fucking Cody Nolov is like 25 years old too.
Yeah, I think pretty much the sport's becoming more like it's gonna be more like the younger era now. Especially like you said, Cody's the champ now. And then there's Max, and then the list goes on. Like champions are going to be like the younger generation now.
Yeah, and for people to be achieving that, and the thing is, like, Jose Aldo is only 30. He's not even an old guy. But in fight years, he's like He's like really old in fight years because he was already like an undefeated champion for over a decade. So
yeah, yeah, he's like pretty much the veteran. I think it's like I even heard about him back in the WEC days. That was like a while back.
yeah,
And but then the problem with that is like even though he's like a vet in fight years, like people like that recently picking up MMA only see Jose as the guy who got knocked the fuck out by Connor in 13 seconds.
exactly.
Yeah, when they didn't know that Jose not KO'd Cub in like I think like 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah, 8 seconds.
Oh, 8. Yeah, 8 seconds. It was like some flying knee.
Yeah, they literally fucking just touched gloves. Jose threw a flying knee, and that was it. It was over.
Yeah, and not like the casuals don't like I guess they don't realize that, and then instead, like I said, they only see him as the guy that got knocked the fuck out by Connor.
And you know that.
What's up?
No, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, but I was gonna go to like after the what do you call that? After the Aldo Holloway fight. Did you see the part where Max tried to like get Jose to like do the interview first?
Yeah,
but I guess they wouldn't let him.
Yeah, he was like, "This is his hometown. Let him speak first. No, let Jose go first." And then Brian Stanley said something like, "No, we can't." I didn't hear what Brian Stan said, but he shut that down. He's like, "Oh no, we can't do that" or something. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what did you know what was going on at that point? Because I was like, what was going on?
I honestly think Max knew, like Max knows this is just my thought, I'm just speculating, but I think he knows the Brazilian crowd and he knows how they ride with their people, so he wanted like to let Jose probably get the stage first, let that like get that out the way, so then they cheer him, and then Jose. I'm probably reading too much into it, but maybe could let Jose say his piece, like Max is a great fighter, he did a good fight, yada yada yada, and then Max could just say whatever he said. You know what I mean? I think he was just trying to be respectful more than anything. I think all that other shit I just said is reading too much into it. I think he was just trying to be respectful.
Yeah, I could see that. But actually, I think I just thought about this. Maybe because I think when I don't know if you heard what Joe Rogan said, that he said something about like they like from now on they shouldn't be interviewing people who got like KO'd or TK'd or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that Stipe and Alistair fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the case, but no, actually, maybe he left the cage. Who knows? But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. Like, I was wondering if you saw that part.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. I mean, if we really want to speculate, maybe he thought Jose was gonna retire or some shit. You know?
Yeah, like I could see that. Like I could see like what I could see if he thinks that like if he wanted to retire like you said. I don't think so. Probably not yet.
Yeah, I think he still has more in him. But who do you want next for Max? What are you thinking?
Well, I see people say Frankie, but to be honest, this is my opinion that I think what should go next is Frankie and Cub should fight to see who gets to fight Max.
You see, I agree. I think that makes the most sense. But I think they're gonna go with, I don't know, man. Like, cause I don't think they're gonna make the two contenders fight for it. I think they're gonna just decide who, they might give it to Frankie and then Cubs next on deck, So I don't think they're gonna because both of that is a Frankie Cub is a title caliber fight. So I think they want to save that with a belt. Maybe if a card that's not as stacked, that would Cub Frankie for if like Frankie beats Max or some shit. Just speaking hypothetically, that could be a good title fight, or even Frankie Cub Frankie. Frankie Max Frankie. Oh fuck, I fucked up. Max and Cub and Max and Frankie. As both defenses for Max, that's you could throw those on pay-per-view, no problem, friendly fights. So I don't think they want to kind of ruin that possibility by making them kill each other off.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But then speaking of that, did you see like the post, like not the post-fight interview, but like I think it was on UFC Fox.
Yeah.
Ask Max who what's next.
You could get it too. You could get it if you want to. Cub.
Yeah, I'm like, you could get it again.
I was cracking up.
Oh man, I know. I was like, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's like the fucking blessed era now, because he comes in there, he fucking scraps. He's in there for an entertaining fight. He knows what he's doing, and his personality is himself. He's not trying to be a Conor McGregor. He's not trying to be like anyone. He's being fucking Max Holloway, and that shit is funny as fuck. Like people rock with him for being him. He doesn't have to try to be anyone else.
Exactly, and and you're right. He's not trying to copy McGregor, and it looks like he's not even he's not even worried about Conor. Like he even said in the press conference, like Conor's the 2015 featherweight champ. Like when people asked him about Conor, like you're not Conor being the true featherweight champ or something like that. You're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he was like, "Man, I'm not even gonna talk about Conor. Conor has to beg me," which is honestly, that's probably the most refreshing thing I could hear from a fighter, because all these fighters that have no history with Conor are trying to do exactly what Conor's doing and have a fight with him. I did not hear Max Holloway once mention the words "money fight." I didn't hear him once say "going up." I didn't once hear him say "2-weight world champion." He said, "No, I'm gonna make my own star. I'm gonna clean out the division. Whoever wants it next can get it." When have we heard that as of recently?
No, as of recent, not that I know of. But I was gonna say maybe DJ, but yeah, other than that, no other fighter that I know of.
Yeah, even when Cody got the belt, I want to go up and fight Jose Aldo. Oh, I want to go down and fight DJ. I'm going up or down. When Amanda Nunes got the belt, oh, I want to go up and get the featherweight belt if it's not Cyborg. Everyone's trying to go up and go down, and yeah, that's cool. That's fun. Super fights are fun, especially as a fan. I won't say no. But where was this shit for the past 10, 15 years?
It didn't happen until Conor did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess what it is they try to like chase after. They just want to have the same success as McGregor. Especially he got he got the 2 titles that he's making this much, and then lately everybody's been talking about money. I'm not getting paid enough. Even like you said that where was this in the past years? I haven't heard. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never heard fighters talk about their money at least back then. Not as much as now. You know what I'm saying?
You're 100% right. No, they really weren't until Conor started talking about it. And you know, that's another thing I really like about Max. He's being his own person, and he's really carving out his own lane, and he's fucking it's the blessed era, man. I really hope that Max hangs on to this title, defends it. So how do you think a fight between Max and Frankie would go?
Honestly, that's interesting. I could see Max winning this, but I think it will be most likely a decision.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, I was saying, all right, it'd be a tough fight for Max that, you know, he'd probably go to, like you said, a decision. But, man, like, when he has to step up and when they test Max, he always comes the fuck through. The Cub Swanson fight, like, before the fight happened, that was a big fight for Max. And he fucking whooped Cub's ass. And this Jose Aldo fight, I was like, man, listen, I want Max to win. I really want Max to pull it off. It'd be crazy if he gets the finish. I'd be pumped. But I could see, I'm like, my call was, I think it's gonna be a 5-round decision to Max. And Max went in there after the first round looked like what everyone was thinking, how Jose was looking, and Max turned it around and he got the finish. So at this point, I don't think I could doubt Max or even, like, you know, throw that in there because he's always come through every time.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, then I honestly see Max all the way as the reigning featherweight champ. Like, I could see him defending it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Which we want to, like, which honestly, like, I guess, like, you know, a lot of the hardcore MMA fans would like from the featherweight champ, because you know how people have been saying, like, oh, Conor got the belt and he's not really defending his featherweight belt, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, and fucking Jose, when he had it, he maybe defended it once a year, once every year and a half, something like that.
Yeah. So this is like a fresh start, like, for once. Yeah.
And another thing is you have a lot of young talent in 45 coming up. You have Yair Rodriguez, you have Brian Ortega, and you know you have at the, you know, at the top end of things, you still have Dennis Bermudez and Chad Mendes coming back. A fucking Mendes Holloway fight. I want to see that shit, you know? So you have a lot of good matchups at 40. 45 is pretty set at this point. It went from being in fucking shambles to now everything's all good. It's an exciting division again.
Exactly. And speaking of Mendes, when's that? Do you have any idea when is he coming back? Like, I haven't been following up on Mendes, but like, do you have any idea when's he coming back? Because I would like to see Holloway and Mendes too, as well. So yeah, so I was wondering when's he coming back.
I'm about to look that up, but yeah, man, like Chad is a top guy in the division. He kind of got fucked in that Conor fight because it was a short notice fight. And he got clipped up by Frankie right after that. And oh shit, he has a 2-year suspension.
Oh damn, 2 years?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Shit. So I don't think. So when is it active? Let me see. When did he get tested? Well, I mean, it wasn't too long ago, so I don't think Chad Mendes is going to be back to like 2018 or 19, honestly.
That's going to be a while.
Yeah, and he's one of the older guys. He's not an old guy, but he's old enough where 2 years is a lot on his career.
Exactly, especially if he's not, like, you know, keeping up on pace. Because then even if he comes back, you got like these newer guys. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
or maybe faces the newer guy.
Or maybe it might be a good thing because after Connor knocked him out, and then Frankie knocked him out, maybe his chin needed some time before it started getting like permanently deteriorated.
Oh yeah, I haven't thought about that, but yeah, that's true. I agree. Maybe like he needed. Probably that's a good thing, like you said. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, he needed to recover from that.
You know who I think is fucking their chin up that they're gonna have to retire soon?
Who is that?
JDS.
Dude, oh, yeah, JDS. And then what's interesting is after the Stipe fight, he's gonna fight Francis Ngannou.
Yes, dude.
Like I thought usually they usually have to medically suspend fighters who got like TKO or KO like that.
Yeah, like the way the medical suspensions work, it's like, all right, so you got knocked out, no contact for like 60 days. But if they schedule a fight in August, they could do that with no problem because they know the period is only like a month and change. So they're like, all right, you don't train for that amount of time, and then right after that, he's gonna jump into a training camp, which is fucking. It's not doing him any favors because he got knocked out by Overeem. I thought he was gonna be Chiny in the Rothwell fight. He looked good in that. And then he gets knocked out by JDS, and then you're gonna get thrown to fucking Francis. That's not gonna be good for him.
No, I don't think good unless JDS plays it safe, if you know what I mean. Like, what do you call that? Like, try not to like engage in Francis too much.
Mm.
Kind of like how he displayed himself more in the Rothwell fight.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and then trying to cover his chin more, having his hands up. But other than that, yeah, I think it's too soon for JDS to like come back, especially after that knockout from Stipe.
yeah, and the thing is, it's like he tried to be very cautious in the Overeem fight. You know, they probably wasn't throwing any fights for like any hands for the first round, and then come the second, they're still not doing anything, and then one uppercut called it a night.
Yeah, but man, I think the toll took to JDS after those Cain fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely took
That's
a
the
toll
way I
on
see
him.
it. Like after those Cain fights, he wasn't like really the same in a sense.
Yeah, those Cain fights definitely took a toll on him, and they changed him. And now it's like, I mean, it's not a smart thing to do. Go fight Francis now. I mean, JDS could take that fight because he feels like he's on a higher level than Francis, but you know, it's way too risky to take it right after getting knocked out like that.
Yeah, especially to an up and comer like Francis, who's been finishing fights lately. But speaking about that, who you got in that fight, like JDS or Ngannou?
I haven't really thought about it because you see, JDS could come in how he came, like the form he fought Ben Rothwell in, and Francis Ngannou. It's like we haven't seen him against a top tier elite guy yet. So Francis is powerful. He's got like a lot of raw talent, but my early prediction, it might change, but I might have to go with Francis now, because I feel like Francis has that power. He's getting that push by the UFC, so he really has to be motivated and confident because he knows he's not gonna face the problems a lot of the people are facing with the UFC brass because they're already behind him. If he beats if he beats JDS in this fight, I could see them jumping him. He's gonna jump Fabricio and get the next title shot.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Like, I beat Francis too. Especially, I mean, who knows, like, how it's gonna turn out in the JDS Francis fight, but especially with JDS chin, like, not holding up lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Francis is gonna finish him in some form.
I agree. Who do you have in the Cain Stipe fight?
Cain Stipe? If to be honest, if Cain wasn't injured so much, I was gonna pick Cain, but now I'm just taking Stipe for this. Like, I would, but it's an interesting fight. I'm not gonna lie, but and I do want to see it, Stipe and Cain. But at this point, with all the injuries Cain's been having lately, I think Stipe's gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cain looked good against the Travis Brown fight at UFC 200, but that was against a totally different Travis Brown, and Stipe is just on a fucking tear right now, and he's got that. Stipe really has that bomb in his hand where he's really accurate and precise. There was a point in the fucking Overeem fight where Overeem was covering up, and Stipe was literally just like getting right inside those holes, like right where he had both his hands up covering his face and his chin tucked. Stipe was like throwing hooks that was just touching him in the air and then finding the gap, getting his chin, and then Alistair had to start running. So like it's like Stipe is fucking crisp with this shit. He could clip Cain shit up and knock him out real easy, But on paper, that should be a good ass fight.
Yeah, and like you said with Stipe's punching accuracy, it's bringing up to the Overeem one. Yeah, especially in that ground and pound, like the way Stipe's pounding. Pounding Overeem, it's not like where it's just a flurry of punches. It was like precise, like aiming towards where he wanted to aim at before he got the finish.
You're 100% right
on that ground and pound.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
like I said, I just wanted to see the Stipe Cain fight. I do see Stipe winning this.
If Stipe wins it, is he the greatest heavyweight?
Is he the greatest heavyweight?
If he beats Cain.
Yeah, if he beats Cain, I could see. Honestly, I would say yes.
I know it's hard to argue.
At this moment, yes. I say yes.
Because the resume is just going to be too strong at that point, and he would make history beating Cain, being the most defended heavyweight champion, and he beat two of the arguably greatest heavyweights, Fabricio and Cain. So that automatically has him up on him.
Yeah, and he actually beated JDS. He got that revenge back.
Yeah.
So I would say he would be the greatest heavyweight at the moment. Yeah. And no one, and plus no one could really say anything after that. And not only that, if he beats Cain, I think he would be the first UFC heavyweight champion to actually defend it more than 2 times.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fucking, it's crazy because, I mean, at 195, he had the Andrei Arlovsky fight, and never in that fight would I think that Stipe would be in this situation, just a year and some change removed from that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then after Arlovski fight. Right, and then right when he got the title, like for some reason, I don't know what it is, but I just see Stipe as that guy to to actually pull it off in the heavyweight division. If you know what I mean.
Nah, I 100% agree with you. And the thing that kind of has me a bit jaded on making that, because I'm a big Fabricio Verdum guy. And literally before that Stipe fight, how everyone's talking about Stipe now, everyone was talking about Fabricio like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I know. Even like prior to even before the fight, like people saying that Fabricio is gonna like submit Stipe and Stipe's not like ready and all that. But yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, if Stipe pulls it off, that's crazy. But there is a very real possibility that Cain could beat Stipe, and then fucking Cain is right back in that talk. You know what I mean?
I was the greatest heavyweight. Yeah, I could see that. But if only Cain keeps keeps himself in the spot, like being active.
Yeah.
Like if he finds a way to prevent getting injured too much and all that. Yeah, then yeah, and like you said, who knows? Because maybe in the Cain and Stipe fight, maybe the Cain that will come in the Stipe fight will be like the Cain that we've seen in the Travis Brown fight.
Yeah. And I honestly, I feel like Fabricio Verdum should have gotten his rematch already, because I think that's a very different fight without Fabricio blitzing in like that, and I feel like he earned it. You know, he got knocked out, and then he fought on the same card that Stipe fought, so it was a quick turnaround. He opened with a motherfucking flying sidekick to Travis Brown's face. And then fucking This Is Sparta kicks Edmund Tarverdian. And, he won right there. I think he should have got his rematch. But, when he did that, when he talked shit about Reebok and he got fired from his Fox Sports job and shit like that.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of screwed him over.
Yep,
That's what screwed him over, getting a title shot.
Exactly. So I see.
Yeah,
even,
but I could see.
My bad. Go ahead.
But I could see why. I could see why Fabricio's getting screwed over. Yeah, and I do agree that he should have got the title shot before instead of JDS, because if you think about it, JDS has. I think his last fight before the Stipe fight was Ben Rothwell, right? If I'm not mistaken. That's a while ago.
Yeah. And it's fucking it's crazy, because now you have some young blood in the division a bit. Speaking about that, yeah, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis and Mark Hunt, that card is coming up this Saturday.
Oh man, I hope man, who do you got winning on this?
I think I'm going to kind of make the call with who I want it to be, because, my mind is saying Mark Hunt, but I want Derek Lewis to get it. So I'm going to go with Derek Lewis, because I remember fucking that JDS Ben Rothwell card. Derek Lewis fought Gabriel Gonzaga. He knocked out Gabriel Gonzaga in that fight. And I remember I saw another fight before that of him, and he knocked out the dude. And I did a video on it, and I'm like, man, I didn't even remember his name at the time. I was like, oh, some guy, Kevin Lewis, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, Derek Lewis. And then I was like, yeah, I could see this guy being the next dude up in heavyweight. If he keeps this up, I could see him going to the top of the division. And he was unranked at that time, and now he's in the top 5 position. After this, he's in contention.
Oh yeah, and then and I got Lewis winning this too. But and then who do you think Lewis should fight? Like, let's just say hypothetically he were to win against Hunt. Who do you think? What do you think is next for Derek Lewis?
I think I think at that point you have to throw. I don't want to see Lewis and Ngannou yet. I don't want to see that yet. They're both top contenders. Don't kill them off. I think he needs to face a top 3 guy. So maybe even like a Overeem or a Verdum, or maybe the loser of Stipe Cain.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could see him fighting like either one of those guys.
Mm.
But I was kind of thinking, but he did say in one of his interviews that I guess like after Hut that he wanted like go to for what do you call that, Francis. I think it
Yeah.
was in the Ariel Hawani like call.
Yeah. He did. He said he won't mind fighting Francis. He wants Francis next, and I think like him and Francis are kind of in the same situation, but it's like Derek Lewis organically grew his fan base, and Francis Ngannou is the guy being pushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I noticed that too. Like, I guess like Francis is more of the clean cut guy, and especially like I guess yeah, like you said, he's getting the push. Like I think he even had his own media day. I think I forgot when it was this,
Yeah.
but I remember he did have like a media day
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah.
it was at some recent one, maybe like 210, something like that. I don't even remember, but you're right.
Yeah, UFC is pushing him. I just hope it. I just what do you call it? I just hope like if wait, dang, I just had it in my head, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's alright.
They had to do something with pushing him, and then you know how UFC pushes like certain fighters, and it doesn't turn out how it is. Kind of like what happened to Sage Northside,
Yep.
Paige Van Zandt,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah. Like for some reason, I have a hunch that might happen to Francis. I don't know. I'm not trying to like bash or hate, but like if UFC keeps pushing them, yeah, it's gonna be like a hype killer.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, he very easily could, they could throw him too much too fast, and they could just kill off the hype.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll happen in the JDS fight, or maybe like later on. But we'll see. Right now, right now I'm just gonna give like the benefit of the doubt.
Same. I pulled up the Hunt Lewis card, and it's looking rather lackluster.
Oh, really? Like, who's in the card? Because I only know it's Lewis and Hunt. Besides that, who else is in the card that we know of?
Fucking Derek Brunson versus Dan Kelly is the co-main.
Really? That's
Yeah.
the co-main? Oh, man.
Yeah, like Dan Kelly, he's coming off of that Rashad win, and Derek Brunson is coming off of that Silva loss, so that's lackluster. Dan Hooker versus Ross Pearson. Ion Cutelaba versus Henrique da Silva. Tim Elliott versus Ben Nigan. Alexander Volkanovski versus Mizuto Hirota. Like,
oh man,
the main.
The card sounds lackluster, but you never know. I mean, like it could turn out to be like how 206 was.
Yep.
But But yeah, I agree. It does sound lackluster, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. You can never judge a card before it happens because the cards that, have the most name could just be shit, and the cards that have no names could be a crazy fight card like 199.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? But, time will tell. But like I said, like you said as well, like it is lackluster. It sounds lackluster, like, especially like the main event, Lewis and Hunt. That sounds interesting, and then your co-main event is Brunson and Dan Kelly,
Yeah.
and the list goes on. And but crazy about that. And but anyways, and speaking of cards, like, what do you think of the 213 card?
I'm about to pull it up. Yeah, the 213 card has a lot of good fights on there because I think that's off top. I think that's what's it called? Anthony Pettis versus Jim Miller. Then you have Verdum Overeem 3, and then there's another good card on there. There's another good fight on there. What am I forgetting? Fucking.
Yoel and Robert
Yes,
Whitaker.
yes. Yoel and fucking Robert Whitaker, and then Nunez Shevchenko 2 is the headliner, I think.
Like, who do you got for Nunes and Shevchenko?
I have Shevchenko taking it.
And like, I honestly want Shevchenko to be the champ.
She.
Like, I don't know.
Keep going.
Like, I don't know why, but like, for some reason, like, after where's that? Where am I going with this? Oh, after the Rousey fight, and then especially in the summer press conference, it's just like, I don't know, like, especially with especially when Nunes is trying to, like, with that little face off that they have.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point, for some reason, I just feel like deep inside that I kind of wanted for
Yeah.
because I think it was like getting way too out of hand. I think it's like especially like, oh, she wanted to like go up and weight like 145 if Chris was not fighting.
Yeah.
And all that. And it sounds like she's like looking like I think it looks like she's like underestimating Shevchenko in a way, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right. Nunez is feeling herself way too hard right now.
Yeah, and then especially when she said to Shevchenko, like, "Oh, like I already beat you already. I beat you already." But that's just, that was just, that one fight back then, and I think she was like, if I recall correctly, wasn't she like, didn't she like lost the third round?
Yeah. Yeah, Shevchenko started taking over in the third round. Nunez was gassing, and if it was a 5-rounder, Shevchenko would have pulled it out most likely. So now we'll really see.
Yeah. And then this time it's going to be a 5-rounder fight, so this is going to be interesting.
And Shevchenko she beat Holly Holm on the feet. So Holly Holm's an amazing stand-up fighter. And then she beat fucking Juliana Pena in a crazy armbar. And Pena's thing is jiu-jitsu. So Shevchenko is extremely well-rounded,
Yeah, exactly. And bringing up that Pena fight, like, when I watched it, I really thought Shevchenko was going to be in trouble in that fight. I really thought that Pena was going to like grind her out and submit her, put her into the ground. But damn, that armbar, it just proves that Shevchenko's well-rounded.
Yeah.
More well-rounded than I thought. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know fucking Alan Joban is on that card against fucking... You know Alan Joban?
Yeah, the one who gave Mike Perry his first loss.
Yeah, yeah, he's on that card against Brian Camozzi, Chris Camozzi's brother.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that till now. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think he was coming off of a loss from Gunnar Nelson.
yeah, yeah. So,
And,
the Yoel Bobby Knuckles fight, who do you got?
Yoel and Whitaker. I honestly, out of the two, and I think that's a tough one because Yoel comes up with these unpredictable, like
Uh,
explosive crap that he comes up with, and then there you have Whitaker, who's like a young dude with that little winning streak that he's having in the middleweight division. But to me, honestly, I'm gonna say Whitaker. But you know what's kind of like screwed up? I honestly think their gay guard should be in that.
yeah.
Like it should have been like he should have been fighting for at least like the interim rather than Whitaker. I mean, I like Whitaker, but I think it should have been gay guard first.
Yeah, I feel like that gay guards the way the Chris Weidman fight ended really kind of fucked him in that, and contract negotiations, gay guards going through contract negotiations, a lot of variables were stacked against gay guard in this position, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean now. Like he had that little controversy with that knee, which I don't think that's a controversy in my opinion. Yeah, I think he like legitimately won that in a way, and in the new contract. But crazy. And then honestly, I kind of don't want to see Joel as the champ because of his, kind of like, especially with that Tim Kennedy duel thing and all that. I was like weird, and then the little, I just don't want to see that. Like, if he were to be a champ and he were to pull those things off, I kind of don't want to see that in a champion. If you know what I mean.
Nah, I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah, that shit's a bit dirty. It's a bit cheap, and it really. I don't think it helps him enough in the way, like, it does him more harm than it helps him. Because he performs well, and then he always has this thing that shoots him in the foot. And yeah, like with the Tim Kennedy thing, that whole fight was a shit show. Because Tim Kennedy was holding on to his gloves. He dug into the gloves between the wrap and, the inside of the gloves, and was holding Yoel's hand down so he couldn't defend himself. And that's when Yoel got rocked. So Tim Kennedy cheated and then fucking hurt Yoel. And then Yoel was cheating on the bench, got a few extra minutes, and then finished Tim Kennedy. If he just sat on, only got the 60 seconds, he would have, it really would have bigged him up. But because of the extra 20 seconds he got, that shot himself in the foot. And with Jacare, he was holding on to the fence in a takedown. And then with Chris Weidman, they tried to buy extra time in the corner. And I like Yoel, but it's like, that shit, like, it's gonna get, like what you're saying, in championship fights, when the margin of error is that close, it's like all those things really count. And I actually think Yoel's gonna win this fight, and I like Yoel, but I'm not trying to see that dirty shit in the fights. Like, just play clean, play by the rules, and that's that.
Yeah, if he were to if he were to not do that, yeah, I would say I would like Joel more if he wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, he can't be pulling things like that, like like in most of his fights. Can't be doing that. It's not cool.
Yeah, I can't believe I fucking forgot. Robbie Lawler and Cowboy is on this card.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I know. But I see. Man, that's gonna be an interesting fight. It's a 3-rounder, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why do I keep thinking it's a 5-rounder for some reason? Like I always think it's a 5-rounder. Like
Me too.
Lawler and Cowboy. Maybe I just hoped it was a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
I have a feeling one of them is gonna get stopped. I know there's gonna be like a finish. I just feel like there's gonna be a finish there in that fight.
Yeah, I think Lawler is going to be the one to finish Cowboy, honestly.
Oh yeah, especially like I especially feel like pressures Cowboy.
Yeah.
And then again, I could see Cowboy winning too at the same time. Like probably throw that head kick if Bobby doesn't see it coming though.
I think, in my opinion, I think this is too high profile of a fight for Cowboy to win, because I think the pressure you gotta take into account with Cerrone how much pressure is going to be on him. He's fighting a fucking legendary former champion in a fight that could bring him back into title talks. He usually he does good in those fights, but it's the fact that this is Robbie Lawler. And I mean, I think the pressure is gonna get the Cowboy, and the way Robbie is, he's kind of like, yeah, he'll be like chopping it up with you before the fight, but during the fight, he turns into a fucking animal. Like, remember when him and Rory, like, the round ended and Robbie just kept fucking like walking forward, like he wouldn't leave.
He would like go forward, and that's the same. That's the same with the. I think it was the same with the Carlos Condit fight too.
Yeah. It's like he brings out like this fucking animalistic side that Cowboy can't handle, because Cowboy wants to be like, all right, buddy, let's scrap it out, and then we're gonna grab some beers after this. But if they're like, fuck you, the Cowboy chokes, because if you look at the Nate Diaz fight, Nate fucked him up. Jorge Masvidal fucked him up. Him and Nate are like the same person. And then in the fucking Matt Brown fight, Matt Brown clipped Donald, dropped him, and the only time Donald like really like in the beginning of that round they hugged it out. Finally, Cowboy was like, all right, can we at least get a hug? As soon as him and Matt Brown were cool, he fucking knocked Matt Brown out.
Yeah, that's honestly, I never thought about that till now. Like you brought it up, that Cowboy, like I noticed that Cowboy doesn't do well if someone like hates on him. But and then if you try to friend with them, then things go different.
I know.
I never noticed that till you brought it up. Huh?
Yeah, and then Fabricio Verdum, Alistair Overeem. Who do you have in that?
Oh, who do I have in it? Fabricio and Alistair? I'm gonna go with Fabricio on this. He's gonna probably try to submit him. Well, hopefully it's not like. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to a little shitty decision. I hope it's not like one of those.
Yeah.
But as of late with Overeem, he's been like. I know he's been cautious and all that. That little running away thing. Yeah. And then you said you got Fabricio on that as well, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I could see Verdum clipping him up and then submitting him.
Submitting Overeem?
Yeah.
And then let's just say if let's just say if Fabricio were to win, do you think he should get the title shot next?
I think he should get the title shot next, and beating Overeem lines him right up for that. But I think if Francis beats JDS, Francis gets the next shot.
Oh yeah, because UFC is pushing him.
Yep.
But yeah, I can see that happening. But yeah, I just really hope Pradia still gets his title shot.
Me too. He deserves it.
Yeah, same. I could see that as well. And then, but then that's yeah. But anyways, who's in the card too? Pettis and Miller.
Yeah. Anthony Pettis, Jim Miller.
Oh man, Pettis and Jim Miller. Do you think Pettis is gonna win this?
Yeah, I think Pettis has this one because Anthony.
I don't know. What's that?
No, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, to be honest, like Pettis and Jim Miller. Yeah, I winning, but I don't know if you should stay at lightweight because especially the killers that you have now at lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be tough for him to get that title shot at lightweight. I honestly thought he fits right in featherweight.
Yeah, he'd definitely be a better fighter at featherweight, but I think the weight cut's too intense. And I don't think he needs to move the divisions because, all right, he lost the title to RDA. Eddie Alvarez, he didn't even get a chance to fight because Eddie Alvarez just held him to the cage. And the Edson Barboza, it wasn't that bad of a fight, but like Pettis is just getting his leg kicked off, really. He never really got dominated to the point where you're like, oh, dude, he needs to call it. He's just been losing fights,
Yeah, he's been. I think that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been cut. It's not like it's not like he lost in the sense of how he lost to Holloway.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more like he didn't really show his he didn't really show himself.
Yeah.
Pretty much like what you said in the Alvarez fight and the Barboza one.
I agree. Yeah, could you give me a second? I'm getting a call.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Alrighty. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We're back. So yeah, we're fucking talking about Anthony Pettis and the Barboza fight. You're saying how he didn't really lose a fight unless that the way he lost to Holloway.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, it's like one of the. I guess that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been, cut yet.
Yeah.
He wasn't really getting. He didn't really lose compared to how he lost to Holloway. Not trying to discredit the people that beat Pettis, but.
Yeah, and so I feel like Pettis, he should get this because Jim Miller is always down to throw down, and Pettis never really lost to anybody outside the top 3-4 in reality of lightweight,
Yeah, that's true. Plus, and then people say that I guess something, I don't know, it's pretty stupid. I hear people say that ever since USADA came and Pettis hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
But I don't even get what that means. What's that supposed to mean? He never looked like the guy that, that he would be on, whatever what he was supposedly taking or allegedly taking, right before USADA came in. I don't know. I always laugh at that when people say things like that.
Yeah, at sometimes it's founded and it's justified, but a lot of times people are just saying it to say it. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about this. I fucking saw on the MMA Hour a little bit while ago that Gustafsson was talking and Ariel Helwani was instigating as he usually does, and he was saying like, "Oh, do you think John was doing steroids when you guys fought and all this?" And like now Gus is trying to say, "Oh, the only reason Johnny won that fight was because he was fucking on steroids and shit." What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my god, man. I mean, I haven't seen it, but damn, man, I gotta look into that. But like, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, that kind of doesn't make sense in a way, because then, if you think about it, people have been saying that, oh, technically Gustafsson won the fight. Let's just say if he were to win that fight, would he be really be saying that about John?
I know. I don't think he would. It makes him, honestly, Gus looked so good after that Glover fight, and I was like pumped on Gus, but now he's just making me like, I don't know, he's just taking the air out the balloon, you know? I'm like, oh, dude, just shut the fuck up and fight.
I know, right? Yeah, just get just get the rematch from John, just get the rematch from John, and then if he loses, then what's he gonna say after that?
Exactly. It's, ooh, I don't know what that
Speaking of
was.
which, wasn't he supposed to get a rematch with John?
Yeah, you know what? In all honesty, Daniel Cormier shouldn't even fucking have been in the picture because it was supposed to be Jones Gus 2, and then Gustafsson pulled out, and then they made DC Jones. And then because they made that, and then at that fight, Jones got injured by Alistair Overeem in training camp, and then Jones had to pull out, and then we got the fight in January finally. But the only reason DC was even in that discussion is because Gus pulled out. And then when DC filled in and then Jones pulled out of that, they're like, all right, we already made this matchup. We already invested marketing dollars in it, so we're going to keep the matchup going, you know?
Man, Gus, you had to pull out, and DC comes. DC double cheeseburger comes.
I know. There would be no DC without Gus.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. And then speaking of DC, what do you think of him as champ?
When that what?
What do you think of him as champ?
I'm sorry,
As
one
a
more time.
champion.
Oh, as a champion,
Yeah, what do you think of him as a champion?
I don't even acknowledge him as a champion, to be honest with you. In my eyes, he's not the UFC champion. John Jones is the champion. He's just not around, so we haven't had one, in my opinion. You know, regardless of who has it, right? You know, DC, the way he won it wasn't even in any way to help hype you on him. You know, he fucking got rocked and then held Rumble down until he submitted him. The Gus fight, I'll give him credit in the Gus fight. DC showed up. He had heart. He fucking had a war. But after that Gus fight, man, the Gus fight changed him. He's scared to engage now. DC is fucking scared to fight. And now, you know, the Anderson Silva fight, dude was coming off a fucking gallbladder surgery and literally 2 days notice, and DC wouldn't even stand with him for more than 3 minutes total of the entire fight. And then the Rumble 2 fight, I feel like Rumble forfeited. Rumble was the one who gave up. You know, DC never had a championship performance. He never, besides the Gustafsson fight, he never had a fight where you're like, dude, that guy is the motherfucking best in the world. He's just like getting wins somehow. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to downplay him, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and plus bringing back to the Silva fight, it's just funny when he says like, oh, like he had to, you know,
What the fuck? Hello? Wow. Well. Well, sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what the fuck that was or what was going on there. Let me give the homie a call back. But yeah, fucking DC's on some bitch shit. Yo?
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
I think I got cut off.
Yeah, a weird ass noise started playing. Like it did it like for a second before in the call, and then it just started blasting it. You're gonna hear it when I upload this shit. It just started making like this fucking old school AOL connecting to the internet noise, and it just wasn't stopping.
I know, I heard that too, and right when I was saying about DC and Silva, I heard that, and then it started to like cut off, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then so I just had to call back. Yeah, but you said I'll be hearing that, right?
Yeah. It'll only be there.
Oh, okay. But anyways, I was like what I was getting to in the DC Silva fight. It was a non-title fight, right?
Yep. Non-title.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was funny that how he's explaining that how the way he fought Silva is like you got nothing to lose, man. Like even if you would have lost, you wouldn't really lost the title.
Yeah, it showed.
But instead, he had to play the safe route. Like what the hell, man?
It shows his character, and then with this towel gate bullshit and. Him just talking all this shit. Oh, he's a bitch. What are you gonna do, young man? You're sandblasting hookers, John. How you gonna beat me, John? You're sandblasting hookers. And it's like, it's just like it's just so,
Well, like, shut up, man.
And then, he's a bitch. And then, with the calling Jimmy Manoa a cheerleader, and it's like, bro, you're not entertaining in a fight. You're not a cool person. Like, I don't think any, like, rational, like, chill person would want to kick it with DC. And on top of that, you're a fucking hypocrite. So, like, you're not helping your case at all. And it's just like an annoying character, you know what I mean? He just kind of has that thing that he's just an unlikable person, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's trying too hard, and it's obvious. Way too obvious that he's trying too hard.
It's like he's Go ahead.
And then it's like with and then when he said cheerleader to Manoa, it's funny that he called Manoa a cheerleader. Yeah, I remember in the Chris White and Luke Rockwell fight when Luke won, and Luke was like laying down there. DC picked him up, and I think he kissed him.
He picked him off the canvas and fucking kissed him, dude. You're like the first thing he did. Luke Rockall's trying to catch a breather after he just fucking won a title. This man bends down, scoops him up, and kisses him. And I did a video and I was talking. I could think of 3. And then after the Anderson Silva fight, he fucking kissed Anderson. And then after when Cain won, he fucking kissed Cain. And then I was talking about that in my video, and then someone left a comment, fucking Sea Level Cain left a comment, and he was like, oh, he kissed Dominic Cruz too. And then I remember fucking Dominic Cruz was doing a video on Instagram, and he's like, oh yeah, just that fox getting my hair done and shit. And then DC comes out of nowhere and fucking kisses him.
What the?
It's like he's a hypocrite and he kisses men. Like there's no fucking bigger cheerleader than someone who kisses someone. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, I know. It would have been funnier if Manoa came back at DC saying, them like pointing those things out. It would have been
I
funny if
know.
he actually
He
said
should
those.
have. And DC just looks like the kid that the only reason he had any friends in school, like when he was a kid, was because he was on the wrestling team, and he probably blew, like probably was like verbally blowing the fucking whoever was the cool kid on the wrestling team to try and get like in the circle. You know what I mean? He just seems like that kind of guy. Like he was like socially rejected, but like wrestling gave him a life. You know, like.
Yeah, if it wasn't for like wrestling, he would be that guy. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And
Yeah.
and then
Go ahead.
goddamn, but man, but that fight with DC and Jones, that's gonna be on 214 card, right?
Yeah, headlining 214.
Yeah, I honestly don't see how DC is gonna win. I just don't.
I need John Jones to knock out DC. I no submission. I'll be pretty happy with a submission, but I need John to lay DC out flat.
It's possible that he could. I think he could finish DC. Like I said, I just don't see DC winning. Like, how is he gonna win? As I know he got like manhandled in the first fight by John.
Mm.
And, like, he doesn't have like any physical, attributes to surpass John's reach, and especially like John likes to mix things up. I don't like what else. What does DC have? Like the only way I could see him winning is if John were to like stand exactly still and
I know.
Damn, hit him. Other than that, I just like you said, John should knock DC out. Maybe submission. That way, if he submits DC, he could say, "Yeah, I made you submit," and tap like a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, but overall, I just don't want DC to be the champion.
Same here. I just can't wait till John comes back and then the division's just back to normal, you know?
Exactly. I just wish that I wish I'd seen Jones and Rumble. I wish I'd seen that.
I hope Rumble comes back just for that, just that one fight, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I know, right? Like he kind of like. I think. Did you see like? I think it was a tweet that he's like it was the Gustafson about the Gustafson and Teixeira fight. Mm-hmm. He said something about like uppercuts, like I'll show you a proper uppercut or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm getting that itch again. I'll show these boys how to throw uppercuts or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe that's a little hint or a subtle message that he might come back one day.
Yeah, even right after the DC Rumble 2 fight, he was talking to John Jones backstage, and he was like, look, man, maybe, he was like, sorry, we never got to give it to the fans what they want to see. Maybe one day we'll come back, and maybe one day I'll come back and we'll give it to them. And he said, yeah, maybe it'll be a heavyweight. CJ, my bad, bro. I gotta go do something quick. My boy's here. I'll post this video up, but would you be down to do another call later and like talk about shit we didn't get to cover?
Probably. I'll find a day first.
Yeah, not anytime soon, but like down the line.
Yeah, because honestly, I didn't get a chance to. I forgot to bring up the QH1, but what do you call that? But I'll say it in another video about QH1. I just had like things that I forgot to express. But yeah, I have but it's okay. But yeah, it's all good. So.
Yeah, sorry about that. My boy just came through. But yeah, so fucking I appreciate the time, man. I appreciate chopping it up and shit. And thank you for the good talk and everything, man.
Yeah, no problem. And I should say the same as well. Not same as with you as well. It's like I thank you for finding the time, like I said in the beginning, and the same with the other people out there that like with like this community is actually pretty great. It's really good, and I'm glad that we had this, this type of community that we have. I hope it stays this way, like later on, like in the future. I hope it can become stronger, and I really appreciate that.
Me too, man.
That
Me
means
too.
a lot.
Yeah, so
That
I
really means a
appreciate
lot.
I appreciate everything, homie. And yeah, we'll be chopping it up soon. Talk about the shit we didn't get to touch on. And yeah, appreciate everyone listening and shit. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.